Alo Olgera, bonjour, malo lele. This is the Pacific Way, bringing you stories that matter to Pacific people. On the 12th of March 2015, an extremely destructive Category 5 tropical cyclone, Pam, struck Vanuatu, leaving a trail of destruction across all the islands. Tropical Cyclone Pam destroyed crops on a large scale and compromised the livelihoods of at least 80% of Vanuatu's rural population. This seriously impacted on food security and deficiency in protein amongst the people in the outer islands. The Pacific Community, or SPC, in collaboration with Vanuatu Department of Livestock and the Happy Chicken Project, conducted a training of trainers on Tanna Island on sustainable poultry farming and to ensure people will continue to have sufficient food supply in any future disaster.
One of the most active and easily accessible volcanoes in the world, Mount Yasur, has been rumbling on Tanna Island in Vanuatu's southern Tafea province for the last 800 years. The chiefly landowners call her mother, and she attracts thousands of visitors every year. Tanna Island is located south of Vanuatu's capital, Port Vila. The people of Tanna are renowned for their entrepreneurship. Tanna's main town center is Lenakal, called the Black Man's Town, as no foreigner is permitted to operate a business in Lenakal, where local ingenuity thrives. For those who call it home, Tanna Island's fertile lands and seas have always provided an abundance of healthy foods. Apart from tourism, agriculture and fishing provide the main source of income. But the entire way of life of the people of Tanna took a drastic turn. On March 13, 2015, Mother Nature hit with a vengeance as Category 5 tropical cyclone Pam, packing winds of up to 320 kilometers per hour, hit the archipelago with over 166,000 people directly affected.
So some all houses blow, all people have been damaged by cyclone. Mo same time too, all small livestock, all some fowl, all some nani, all some pig, all some all something atu plant all been damaged. With them karantu, all some all yam, all manio, all taro, with them all plant something atu been damaged lo cyclone Pam. So if I look say if I need all something up again, if I rebuild them life again.
During Cyclone Pam, us at the north of Evate, we got big damages during the Cyclone Pam. We've got our gardens and all our livestock, our animals and our houses. I got my house roofed, flew off that time, so we have to build. We have to get the chiefs from the communities, get the boys to build our houses back. And for our gardenings, we got all the grasses rolled off. That time we only had the soil left. After the Cyclone Pam, we had very dry seasons. So it's hard for us to plant our crops in the garden.
It was during the post-TC Pam assessment that serious issues of sustainable food sources was identified as an urgent need.
During the Cyclone Pam assessment, most of our communities were found to be lacking of basic animal protein. It is an important factor that it gives us the opportunity to scale up our activity, especially with the small livestock development. And especially with this aerated bridge, that it gives us the opportunity for the farmers to engage with the breeds that are basically suitable to our climatic condition, addresses climate impact issues, But at the same time, it gives the opportunity for the farmers to have continuous, sustainable animal protein in terms of meat, chicken, and also in eggs.
After the cyclone, a lot of the people in the islands where cyclone hit most was Tanna, Emai, and Anichum. They used to have a lot of local chickens as protein source. After the cyclone, that was gone. So this is the reason why they want to revitalize that protein source through farming, small-scale farming, local breeds, basically.
As part of the overall TC-PAM recovery program, the Pacific Community or SPC's Animal Health Team, in collaboration with the Department of Livestock Vanuatu and the Happy Chicken Project, developed training materials to conduct training for farmers in small-scale poultry farming. This is part of the extension services to the farmers in affected areas. SPC supports the technical and practical-based training on small-scale poultry farming as a means to ensure sustainable food security. In late June 2017, in collaboration with the Vanuatu Department of Livestock and Human Capacity Development International, brought together selected farmers and community workers from Tanna, Anitum, Emai and Pele Islands, as well as livestock and agriculture extension officers in Vanuatu for a week-long training of trainers on sustainable small-scale poultry farming.
One of the components in the livestock component of the project was to establish 100 micro farms, small-scale farms, and also provide an extension component. So this training was the extended component. We kind of designed this training in a way that this was people we were going to train the trainers first, because we couldn't train 100 farmers. It's very difficult. So what we did is to do the trainers. What we did from that is we got mostly community workers, high school teachers, and some champion farmers into that. That's where the training was sold. There's about 35 or 36 of them were there. So the idea is to train these people so they can go back to the community and train their own people, the farmers that we are establishing.
The main purpose and the engagement of these farmers is that we select very actively farmers that are already engaged in some sort of poultry activities. And not forgetting that as well, we also engage with the Vanuatu Youth Council to be part of this initiative. As I've said during my opening statement, that this training of trainers, like the disciple, to go and spread the good news of this important initiative throughout Vanuatu.
It's got a theory and a practical component. So theory was a more classroom kind of orientated, where the trainers show the trainees how to make shed, how to prepare a feed, what component of ingredients that can make up the feed on a daily basis. But that's just for classroom things where you hear and see. Basically you are hearing. The next one is practical, where you go and do it and see it for yourself. So that's the way we arrange this training. So you see the people in the practical side, when they went to the shed, building the housing, shed, design all this, they had to do a shed themselves. And I think they went into a group and did 3 sheds. And then we took them out into the field where there's real farms to get them know what the real situations are and what kind of feeds is around in that farm. So you see one farm, when we look around, there's a lot of local feed around, and people sort of talking to themselves. Some of them did not even know this feed for chickens, they learned it that way. So that's a very practical component of our training, so it's self-learning.
SPC and the Department of Livestock engaged a local commercial farm in Vanuatu, Pepe's Farm, from which the Sussex breed of chicken are sourced and distributed to the farmers.
It was just fortunate that we had that breed in Vanuatu. Yeah, that's why we used it. Otherwise, we could have also used the local free-ranging chickens in the village. But we were fortunate enough to have Pepe's Farm, which breeds these Sussex light breeds that you've seen, and that's which we were working on. That's a very hardy breed. It grows very quickly based on the feed it eats in the environment. So it's like a garden chicken, they call it, or fowl. Yeah. And so, and it's a dual purpose. That means that it's a meat and egg bird, and very high productivity. A single bird can produce about 250 eggs a year.
With this initiative, as I've said, we try and engage all stakeholders, the NGOs especially the happy chicken to run that training, and also the Pepe's Farm to be part of this program is to import fertile eggs from Australia to hatch the chicken for us to distribute to the farmers that were part of this program. Pepe's Farm is so helpful that apart from importing fertile eggs, they also have breeders that also support that provides regular fertile egg for this program. And at the same time, we also engage with other stakeholders as well in providing other components for this project as well.
Apart from the Sussex breed of chicken, the Vanuatu government is also working with other agencies as part of the broader food security program, with breeding centers being established throughout Vanuatu.
The purpose of these breeding centers that maybe you have seen at the main provincial centers is to ensure that we as the department, we continue to promote small livestock development by creating an avenue for the farmers to have resilient breeds. Example, breeding center for pigs, for chicken, for ducks, for goats, and those are the initiatives that we want that the service delivery be distributed down to our rural farmers to ensure that they continue to access these breeds at their doorstep.
The value of such resilient breeds of livestock forms the foundations towards ensuring resilience and sustainable food security, not only in Vanuatu but throughout the Pacific. SPC's assistance towards the Happy Chicken Farm in Singatoka Valley in Fiji is a good example of how this can be done around the region.
Well, the similarity is basically Austin also got some Sussex farm, but he's got also other heritage breeds that they don't have in Vanuatu setup. Vanuatu had Sussex, that's where we went for Sussex. But Austin farm in Singatoka in Fiji has a lot more variety. Yeah, so he's more a local community trainer. So he's got a training center, so people come and train. Whereas us, we had to bring the trainer to our farming community to train. But the issue is that it's not how we train and how we set, but it's promoting this kind of breeds for food security, especially in this changing in the environment. So the bottom line in these projects, both in Singatoka and in Vanuatu, is a resilient breed for smallholder farming. community.
As part of the Extension Service, the week-long training of trainers conducted in Tanna will ensure a community-based approach to safeguarding food sources in the future for these farmers and their communities. As Mount Yasur continues to withstand the tests of time, the spirit and resilience of the people of Vanuatu will also continue to shine through.
I hope you enjoyed our story tonight. You can look forward to more exciting stories next week. We'll leave you with this performance of the Sia by the Papua New Guinea delegation at the Melanesian Arts Festival. Don't forget to check out our latest news and videos on the Pacific Community YouTube channel and the Pacific Way Facebook page. Until next week, Tofa ni koekia lukimu.
Sia is one type of dance, but it has different parts. But what I'm saying that we came here with 5 different type of dances. Sia is one of the dance, but there's components, it has parts in the type of dance which we are going to see today. We have 7 major tribes in Western Britain Province, 7 major tribes. Within those tribes we have 25 languages. And within those 25 languages we have various type of cultures, customs that we have. And like for example, I'm from the Nakanai tribe. My way of dancing is different from what these people will be performing today. get to Numia, we'll be performing 4 other types of dances. We have the tumbuan, where you have the headdress and the whole leaves, so coconut leaves covering the whole body. That is called tumbuan.